Good evening, and welcome to Let's Get Psyched. I'm your host, Naveen Sadiq. Today, we're going to talk about an interesting topic, the psychology behind development, specifically cognitive development. Susan H. Landry of the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston and Karen E. Smith of University of Texas Medical Branch created a journal article titled Responsive Parenting, Establishing Early Foundations for Social, Communicative, and Independent Problem-Solving Skills. In this article, they describe an experiment they conducted in which they evaluate and monitor the interactions between a child and an adult. Their goal was to try and understand how parental response to children plays a role in their social and cognitive development. Along with that, they analyzed how interacting with your child under 4 bases can affect their ability to problem solve. The 4 aspects are contingent response, emotional effective support, support for infant foci of attention, and language input. In order to get the full perspective of an adult when it comes to responding to children, I decided to interview a parent. Here today we have Dr. Syed Sadiq of Gastroenterology Association of North Texas. Dr. Sadiq has 4 kids himself and claims to be an expert when it comes to raising your kids in a healthy way. He will also be sharing his opinion behind a few of the 4 aspects mentioned. Dr. Sadiq, thank you for being here today.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Okay, what would you say is one of the most important factors that goes into raising a child when it comes to cognitive development?
Challenging the child with appropriate age.
In what ways?
Task that'll help him to nurture the brain in a proper way. So age-appropriate activities, challenges, as well as competitiveness, keeping away from distractions helps a lot of healthy kids.
So do you think parental response to kids can have an effect on their ability to problem solve in the future?
Absolutely.
How?
If the parents are a negative influence on children's and does not allow them in a control environment to take risk and learn from their mistakes, the children will never grow up to make right decisions and will be always deficient in their confidence.
Okay. So one of the aspects Dr. Landry and Dr. Smith claimed to be crucial was contingent responding, in which parents, when they have conversations with their kids, allow the kids to respond in a more complicated way by using more vocabulary. Do you, as a parent, believe that this is an important factor when it comes to development?
Yes. If you don't use your brain appropriately with age-related changes, you will lose it. So using correct vocabulary, language development, eager to learn is very important with every different stages of life. And if you have not learned, then you won't be able to adequately express yourself, use appropriate language, and you will use a lot of fillers like a lot of teenagers do that nowadays.
So you would say talking to your kids in a baby voice is inappropriate?
At stage of baby, it is okay.
But
you do not want to be a baby voice at age 16.
What about age 4?
At appropriate times, when you're playing with the child, you want to be a child. You don't want to challenge them to be intimidative.
Okay, so in the article, they also mentioned how emotional support, such as giving hugs or telling your kids good job, is important to development, along with the absence of negative behaviors, for example, shouting and hitting. Do you think this theory is effective? And if not, what is your opinion about it?
I think it's effective. So you have to provide some safety nets for children so they can experience their emotions in a controlled fashion. and they don't go out of control. And similarly, you have to use negative reinforcement if the child is inappropriate. They need to be taught politely as well as in a stern way that certain behaviors are not acceptable, and certain behaviors are rewarded if they do the right things. So when a child learns that in a safe environment and not scared of the results, then they practice the same development for the rest of their life.
Okay, and last question. As a parent, what else would you have done differently with one of your kids in order to improve their problem-solving abilities?
Maybe challenge them more at an early level, as well as
In an academic sense?
in both developmental, academic, reading. There are some crucial aspects of development, and if you miss that at right time, it doesn't click in at the later stages. So my different way that I would have done is not really anything drastic, but I would have challenged them a little bit more with problem solving as well as task-oriented challenges earlier in life.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, Dr. Sadiq.
You're welcome.